नमस्कार मित्रांनो, अहमदनगर कॉलेज ज्युनियर विंग ई क्लासरूम मध्ये आपल्या सर्वांचे स्वागत आहे. हॅलो फ्रेंड्स अँड वेलकम टू अहमदनगर कॉलेज ज्युनियर विंग ई क्लासरूम. फ्रेंड्स, once again we are here to study bookkeeping and accountancy. In that, our ongoing topic, that is analysis of financial statements. Friends, in last some lectures we are studying about accountancy, various chapters and about various topics. But one topic we have studied it in 11th standard also, and also in 12th standard also. That is final accounts. In 11th standard we studied about final accounts of proprietary concern, and in 12th standard we studied about partnership firms final account. But we all know that finalization of account is very important. It is actually last stage or final stage of accountants, because from final accounts only we can come to know about the results of a business, what the business is doing actually. Is it earning a profit or bearing a loss? So we all know that when we carry out bookkeeping, it is just half of the process of entire accountancy. But actually accountancy is needed here. So final accounts are very important. In that we prepare trading account, profit and loss account, balance sheet, and various other statements. But again, the question arises that when we get all these financial accounts or financial statements, how do we find our results from that, results of the business from that? So those results of a business are found out by the way of analysis of financial statements. मित्रांनो, इथं आपण अनालिसिस म्हणजे विश्लेषण, आर्थिक पत्रके जे आहेत त्याच्या विश्लेषणाबाबत बोलत आहोत. मागच्या तासामध्ये आपण पाहिलं की नेमकं विश्लेषण म्हणजे काय, फायनान्शियल अनालिसिस ऑफ फायनान्शियल स्टेटमेंट म्हणजे नेमकं काय. What are the objectives of analysis of financial statement? In today's lecture, we are going to see actually some of the limitations of analysis of financial statements, and also one example how to prepare a fund flow statement from a balance sheet. Okay, so analysis means to analyze the financial statements or to interpret the financial statements to find out the results of the from the financial statements about various aspects of financial transactions, such as profit, comparison of business, finding out various ratios of the business, ratios of financial statements, comparison of previous year and next year, current year. All these this process comes under financial analysis of financial statements. So let us start with our limitations. In last lectures we have studied about meaning of analysis of financial statement, then objectives of financial statements, but there are some limitations of financial statements also. So let us see which are those limitations. Qualitative information are ignored. Information of qualitative information is ignored, such as only information which represents monetary value or which is in monetary terms is shown in financial statement. Non-monetary transactions such as harmony, efficiency, and cooperation, all these things are not considered. How? Because if someone is efficient in his work, it will be not measured through this analysis. We can only measure or compute or analyze only financial data which is in front of us through the financial statements. मित्रांनो, इथं लिमिटेशन काय, फायनान्शियल स्टेटमेंट्स अनालिसिस करताना मर्यादा काय त्याच्या, ती क्वालिटेटिव्ह इन्फॉर्मेशन म्हणजे काय, जी इन्फॉर्मेशन आपल्या समोर आहे, इन फ्रंट ऑफ अस, that information, that means financial data which is in front of us is only analyzed, and नॉन मॉनिटरी इन्फॉर्मेशन म्हणजे जी माहिती किंवा जी प्रक्रिया, जी कृती ही पैशात मोजली जात नाही, ती मात्र इथं कन्सिडर केली जात नाही किंवा ग्राह्य धरली. सच ॲज हार्मनी, एकात्मता असेल, कोऑपरेशन असेल, तुमची कार्यक्षमता आहे, तुमचं चांगलं वागणं आहे, पंक्च्युअलिटी आहे, डिसिजन मेकिंग कपॅसिटी आहे, या गोष्टी इथं मेजर केल्या जात नाहीत किंवा मोजल्या जात नाहीत, आणि ती एक मर्यादा आहे फायनान्शियल स्टेटमेंट अनालिसिस. द हिस्टोरिकल कॉस्ट. Financial statements are prepared on historical cost and book value of assets. Assets जी काय बुक व्हॅल्यू आहे त्या आधारे हे फायनान्शियल स्टेटमेंट्स इथं बनवल्या जातात. म्हणजे उदाहरणार्थ कसं आहे की आपण एखादी वस्तू घेतली आहे, त्याची जी आपल्याला किंमत आहे तीच आपण तिथं फायनान्शियल स्टेटमेंट मध्ये दाखवतो. पण कधी कधी काय होतं, त्याची मार्केट व्हॅल्यू दुसरी असू शकते, नाही का, त्याची ऍक्च्युअल व्हॅल्यू दुसरी असू शकते. अँड सो हिस्टोरिकल कॉस्ट इज कन्सिडर्ड, दॅट मीन्स बुक व्हॅल्यू इज कन्सिडर्ड इन financial statements regarding assets which may differs from actual value, and so they do not present the effect of change in prices. The prices may be fluctuating, prices खाली वर होऊ शकतात, कमी जास्त होऊ शकतात, but on that fluctuations that cost is not recorded. आणि ही एक मर्यादा देखील फायनान्शियल स्टेटमेंट मध्ये आपल्याला इथं अनालिसिस मध्ये दिसून येते. बेस्ड ऑन अकाउंटिंग कन्सेप्ट्स अँड कन्व्हेन्शन्स, these statements are far away from reality and cannot be, analysis cannot be much in use. Actually, as I said just now, that analysis is made on the basis of data available, financial or statistics available through the financial statements. आता इथं फायनान्शियल स्टेटमेंट्स आपल्या समोर आहेत, त्याच्यातून आपण माहिती काढतो. We compute the financial information on the basis of that financial statements, those financial statements. But it may not be real. Sometimes the cost may be differ from actual cost. Sometimes there may be false cost or false expenditure, false income, false profit असं होऊ शकतं. आणि त्यामुळे हे जे अनालिसिस आहे हे रिअलिटी मध्ये आहे की नाही किंवा रिअलिटीच्या फार जवळ नाहीये, लांब आहे, असं इथं गृहीत धरलं जाऊ शकतं. इन्फ्लुएन्स बाय पर्सनल जजमेंट. Financial statements and conclusions are affected by personal decisions. It differs from person to person. Suppose one person is making analysis of that financial statement. He may assume that the profit of this year is less. He may not consider all those facts. But second person may consider all those facts and can say that no, the profit is good. It is increased if it is compared with previous year. It may happen, and that is why it depends upon decisions of person to person or thinking of person to person. इथं व्यक्तिगतरित्या जे काही निर्णय असतील त्याचा प्रभाव इथं या स्टेटमेंट्सवर इथं पडत असतो, आणि त्यामध्ये काय होतं, मग अनालिसिस जे आहे, विश्लेषण जे आहे, त्यामध्ये फरक पडत जातो. म्हणजे व्यक्ती पर व्यक्ती याच्यामध्ये फरक पडला जाऊ शकतो. Being uncomparable, differences in the date of preparation, nature of business, method of accounting make the financial statements uncomparable. Sometimes what happens, accounting method used, it may be changed per year. This year you have adopted one method, suppose cash method. Next year, if you adopted accrual method, then you could not compare the statements or the statistics with previous year, because you have adopted the method in previous year, it was different. And this year you have adopted the method because the results in last year through another method. This year it is again from another method, so it could not be comparable. In case of nature of business, there may be if the nature of business changes, again you could not compare the statistics because last year it was different, this year it was different, so it gets changed if as per the situation. हे कसं असतं मित्रांनो की कम्पेअर करण्यासाठी म्हणजे तुलना करण्यासाठी काही सिच्युएशन्स जर जबाबदार असतील तर याच्यामध्ये जे काही अनालिसिस आहे ते योग्य होऊ शकत नाही. जर तुम्ही मेथड चुकीची दुसरी मेथड वापरली, मागच्या वेळेस एक, यावेळेस एक अकाउंटिंग मेथड, नेचर ऑफ बिझनेस म्हणजे बिझनेस तुम्ही बदलला, तर याच्यामध्ये अनालिसिस मध्ये इथं कम्पेअर करू शकत नाही तुम्ही, म्हणजे तुलनात्मक तुम्हाला निर्णय इथं प्राप्त होणार नाही. त्यानंतर आफ्टर दॅट स्टॅटिक स्टेटमेंट. फायनान्शियल स्टेटमेंट्स आर स्टॅटिक इन नेचर. दे रिप्रेझेंट absolute figures. They do not present the process by which the figures are arrived. Now static only, just now I told you that whatever information, whatever data we have in front of us through financial statements, only those statistics or those records are considered for analysis. That means only statistics, फक्त अंक, फक्त आकडेवारी ही आपल्याला इथं गृहीत धरावी लागते अनालिसिस करताना. And other facts are not considered here. Just now I told you non-monetary transactions are not considered here, or non-monetary functions are not considered here. त्यामुळे the process by which figures are arrived, they do not present the real value or reality. इथं असं होऊ शकतं, ऍब्सोल्यूट फिगर्स जे आपल्याला दिसतंय तेच तिथं आपल्याला प्रेझेंट करावं लागतं, त्याचंच अनालिसिस इथं आपल्याला करावं लागतं. त्यानंतर अफेक्टेड बाय विंडो ड्रेसिंग. आता तुम्हाला वाटेल विंडो ड्रेसिंग म्हणजे व्हॉट इज दॅट दिस विंडो ड्रेसिंग. विंडो ड्रेसिंग एक्चुअली समटाइम्स मैनेजमेंट डिस्प्लेज रोजी फिगर्स थ्रू फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स. दैट मीन्स हम बोलते हैं जैसे बड़ा चढ़ा के कुछ, त्याला आपण विंडो ड्रेसिंग म्हणतो. काहीतरी वाढवून मीठ मसाला लावून आपण जसं म्हणतो तसं सांगणे. कधी कधी असं होतं. Sometimes management displays rosy figures through financial statement. That means the figures may be fake. The figures may be increased. The profit shown may be increased. The stock shown may be increased. The sales may be shown increased. Actually, it was not like that. असं होऊ शकतं. And if it is done like this, it will be not near the reality. It will differ from the reality. आणि म्हणून ही जी आकडेवारी असते ही खरीच आहे की नाही हे आपण इथं काही सांगू शकत नाही, आणि त्या आकडेवारीच्या आधारेच आपण इथं अनालिसिस करत असतो. वी अनालाइज all these transactions with the help of this financial statement, and we could not say that these figures are correct, these figures are real. They may be real, correct, but may be far away from reality. आहे का नाही? एखाद्या ऍसेट वर तुम्ही डेप्रिसिएशन टाकलं नाही तर त्याची व्हॅल्यू तुम्हाला जास्त दिसेल, अँड इट इज नॉट ऍक्च्युअली करेक्ट फिगर. दॅट इज वाय इट इज अफेक्टेड बाय सम पिक्चर्स, false pictures, fake pictures shown by the management or maybe by the accountant. इथं असं होऊ शकतं. तुम्ही चुकीच्या जर फिगर्स दाखवल्या तर तिथं चुकीची आकडेवारी तुम्हाला प्राप्त होऊ शकते. So we have studied about the financial limitations of analysis of financial statements. Now we have to see the fund cash and fund flow statements, how it is prepared with the help of this balance sheet. Here, the specimen of balance sheet, that is sources of funds and applications of funds, are given here. It is just a specimen. After this specimen, we are going to solve one example. आपण याच्यानंतर एक example सोडवणार आहोत. But before that, let us see how this specimen is, how the sources and application of funds are prepared. Let us see. Balance sheet च्या आधारे हे तयार केलं जातं. It is based on balance sheet. First, we take sources of funds. That means the funds or income or the capital raised by the business. You can see here, it is actually liability side of balance sheet. Owner's fund or shareholders fund. In that, share capital, equity share capital, preference share capital. In that, add reserves and surplus. Again, profit and loss account. That means profit. Then general reserve, securities premium, and less fictitious assets. Fictitious assets, imaginary assets are deducted, and we get net worth or owner's fund. We get here net worth. आपल्याला इथं net worth प्राप्त झालेले. Then B, again in that borrowed funds. That means from borrowed funds like bank loan or debentures, कर्जाऊ भांडवल, ते देखील त्याच्यात ऍड करायचे. आपण लायबिलिटी साइड पाहतो बॅलन्स शीटची. We are watching about the liability side of balance sheet. Then we get total funds available. Total funds we have with us. हे आपल्याला इथं प्राप्त झाले. Second, it is application of funds. That means utilization of those funds. So let us see how it is utilized. We can purchase fixed assets. Number one, fixed assets such as land and building, plant and machinery, furniture, vehicle, or maybe any fixed assets. Second, current assets such as investment. Again, investment is added. It is also application of funds. The number three, working capital, such as quick assets. Quick assets means cash, debtors, bills receivables, and total of quick assets. Then non-quick assets. Again, non-quick assets are also added in that, such as stock. Stock means closing stock. You have stock with you. Then prepaid expenses. It is actually debit side or balance sheet. We can say balance sheet asset side. Actually not debit side, but actually asset side of balance sheet. In sources of funds, we put all the liability sides items. Here, asset sides item. Okay. Then stock, prepaid expenses, and advances. Then total of non-quick assets. Then total current assets. We have total current assets, that is quick plus non-quick assets. Total of that assets. Less current liabilities. If you have current liabilities, deducted from it quick liabilities such as creditors, outside expenses, bills payable, total current liability, and in that total of current liability. Then non-quick liabilities. Non-quick liability such as bank overdraft. Bank overdraft, we can see there. Then total current liabilities, total will be in the outer column. And working capital, that is current assets minus current liabilities. Total of working capital, total current assets minus current liabilities, and we get total funds employed or applied, and the total will be same. So we have studied here that sources of funds and application of funds. So friends, Today we have studied about limitations of analysis of financial statements, and also we have studied about sources of funds and applications of funds. In next lecture we are going to show on one example of sources and applications of funds. Till then, stay safe and bye.